Okay, so I guess we'll start it out. I mean, if you guys watched the stream that we did yesterday, I called that there's a chance that this will go to 7 games, and we got 7 games. So Monday night, this is JC. He's a buddy of mine. He's a Habs fan. I'm a Leaf fan, and I mean, it was nothing was out of the woods with these two teams, and the way that Carey Price has been playing. But as a Leafs fan, it's an extremely disappointing night. It's clear that the core just can't get it done. It seems Matthews and Marner, in my opinion, have been very disappointing for this team, for the city, and it's not good enough. Simple as that. It's not good enough with the money they're making, and we look back a few years ago when Nylander held out on his contract. I know he's had a good series, but even Marner demanding big money, Matthews didn't take a pay cut by any means to play on the team, and they've been disappointing. It's been 3-4 years now where they haven't been able to get over the hump. They still have a chance on Monday, but I think it's safe to say that most fans in Toronto right now are extremely dejected with the way the team came out and played today. Even last game, there's no excuse for it. And at this point, it's either they pull it out on Monday or they lose in 7, and there's a lot of questions surrounding the core of this team moving forward. But I think it's unacceptable for them to show up the way they did for 40 minutes. The best player, hands down, I think, in the whole game was Jack Campbell. I mean, Carey Price was probably... Actually, Jack Campbell and Carey Price. I would say Carey Price towards the end, just overtime, 4 or 5 glove saves in a row, held it down, and... I think it was a goaltender duel for sure, but it's not good enough for the Leafs. I mean, I have Matthews' jersey here behind me, and if they lose on Monday night, I might actually burn this thing to the ground. I'm just kidding, but it's not good enough. Jay, I'll let you take over.
I feel like you're being a little bit harsh. Matthews isn't putting up the stats, but he is playing well. He didn't have his best game for sure, but he's still working in corners. He's still making passes. He's still playing defense. I'm pretty sure he's still a plus in this series. Like, he's definitely, I don't think, a detractor on the team. He's a +2. Yeah, he's a +2. So he's not bringing the team down.
Marner hasn't scored a goal in 16 playoff games. I believe that's the stat. At $11 million a year, there's no excuse. That's my opinion. But
he's also +2, 4 points. So Marner right now would be leading the Habs in points in this series.
I don't know.
Matthews as well. They would both be tied for first overall in points for the Habs. I don't think that they deserve that much criticism. I do get it. They do deserve some criticism. You can't get paid $12 million and not score a goal.
You're making $12 million a year to play for the Leafs, and it's been 3 to 4 years in a row now where they haven't gotten the job done. I mean, I'd love to work a job where I'm making $12 million a year, but I'm not performing at my job, but I still have the job. Like, I get it.
He's performing for 8 months out of the 10, right?
Playoffs are where it counts, in my opinion. Like, at the end of the day, look, guys, at the end of the day, regardless what happens, if the team doesn't win a Stanley Cup in that year, the season's a failure. If you go to the finals and you lose in Game 7, you take all the positives, you take all the learning experience, but at the end of the day, your goal is to win a Stanley Cup. If this team can't get past the first round, let alone win a Stanley Cup, then I think you have issues. Not to say that they're done. Like, Monday night, they can pull it out and win the series, but they've disappointed time and time again. And at this point, I really don't know. Like, I think it's anyone's game. I think the Leafs can win on Monday, or I think Price shuts them down, the Habs pull it out, and the Habs are playing the Jets in round 2. I really hope that's not the case, but at this point, it's very hard to be... You can still be optimistic as a Leaf fan, but pessimism is naturally going to creep in, so we'll see. I don't know.
I think the biggest thing that I'm taking out of this, I think it's less about what Matthews and Marner's line is doing. I've been super critical of him for the past 2 years, and the fact that we offered him a $5.5 million contract and he turned it down. Phil Deneau is playing out of his friggin' mind. He's not doing anything offensively, but the fact that Matthews and Marner only have 4 points through 6 games in a series, that's a W for his line. He's playing outstanding in terms of just the overall aspect. He's winning faceoffs. If he's not winning faceoffs, he's getting in the right position. He's given Matthews no time to breathe. He's getting that crappy role that unfortunately that defensive guy does, where Deneau goes on, he takes a faceoff, he goes to the bench. He waits until she's literally just looking across the ice, looking. All right, Matthews is on, I go on. Matthews goes off, I go off. That's literally been his job all series.
Yeah,
and he is definitely producing. And then again, like you said, Carey Price is playing outstanding. I think this was Campbell's best game of the series, but Price still outdueled him for the most of the
I wanna just pull something up here. Let me just try to get this in so I can show you guys. Sorry guys, let me just pull it up here. But yeah, this is an email that a buddy of mine sent to me. If you're looking at Austin Matthews, sorry, let me just pull it up for you guys. Clean it up here. So this is elimination in 6 career elimination games. I mean, you can see the stats, like Matthews is a -4, Marner's a -5, and Nylander's a -2. I mean, this is your core. So, I mean, you can say whatever you want about them, but I mean, if you're looking at those numbers in 6 career elimination games, they choke. It's very easy to say anything else, but they're not performing. Like, they're not performing in the clutch moments. I'm not hating on them. I'm a fan, but this is not good enough. Like, you can see that in the big moments they're not able to come through.
Giving Matthews 30 shots and only 1 goal is not the norm. That's unfortunate. That's not. If he's getting 30 shots, he's still doing something.
Look, if you're making $12 million a year, you have to perform. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter how much you're making. You're in the NHL. You have to perform. Money. Yeah. It's not his fault that there's.
But like, you can't give them benefit of the doubt. Like,
you can't blame them for getting paid.
They're not playing good enough. It's simple as that. They're not playing good enough to win. It's that easy, man. There's nothing else to it. They're not playing good enough to win.
The organization decided to give them that money. You can't blame them for taking that money.
I disagree. Like, I mean,
if someone offers you $12 million and you know you're not going to do something,
Nylander, I'm usually critical of Nylander, and he's had a very good series, but he did hold out on his contract. I think his contract right now looks good at 6.9. I don't think it's.
This guy has 4 goals and 7 points plus 3.
I'm not talking about Nylander, but I would say Matthews at 11.6. You got Marner at 10.9, I believe. They're not playing good enough. It's simple as that, man. They're not playing good enough, and it makes me question. Like, I know they're young, but they've had 2-3 years now where they should have gained the experience. They've had their learning curve. They should have closed the series. I don't know how you can keep justifying it. They should have closed the series out in 5 or 6 games. Price has played amazing, 100%, but the team has not got it done.
But teams don't roll over for you. Just because you have a dude that's getting paid $12 million, the other team isn't like, oh no, I'm going to stop playing because this guy makes $12 million. The Habs are getting paid to play too. It's not just you're getting paid that much, you should win all the time. Everyone in the NHL is competitive. Every team is competitive.
No, I get that, but I'm saying, like, eventually they have to get over the hump. Like, it's been 4 years. That's all. That's what I'm saying. Eventually, they have to find a way to get over the hump. Look, if you want to win the Stanley Cup, you have to go through all the top teams. You have to go through all the top players. You have to go through the grinds of double overtime and third overtime. But at the end of the day, there's no consolation prize for coming second place. It's either you win the cup or you don't. And they're having trouble getting past the first round. I think Game 7, like I said, I'm not counting them out, but it's very dark in Toronto right now when it comes to the Leafs, because it's something we've seen over and over again. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's I guess we'll see what happens, but that's all I can say. I mean, other than that, the positives, like, I don't know, Jay, if you want to talk about the fans in the building, that was awesome. But
definitely enjoyed seeing fans. I was actually just watching with a couple of my buddies online, and just the pregame, hearing the fans' noise was pretty hype. Glad it's finally happened, and hopefully more teams are going to be able to get to have fans in. If we can see it in the Winnipeg and Toronto or Montreal series, whichever one ends up being, that'd be pretty great.
Yeah.
The crowd in the first period was lit, but I think that coincided with the way the game started, because I don't know. Personally, I think the Leafs were a better team for 55 minutes tonight. And
Oh man, you're crazy. I don't know what game you're watching. The
Yeah,
first two periods, at least the Habs are all over it. If it wasn't for Campbell in the
Campbell in
first
the
period,
first period was insane. The first period was definitely all Habs.
I would say Campbell in the first 30 minutes of the game was the reason why the Leafs were even in the game. Like let's be real. Like I don't think I think the Leafs started pushing in the third. I think in overtime.
Entire third and overtime.
Yeah.
The entire third and overtime, and I'd say at least the second half of the second,
Yeah.
if not the whole second.
Yeah.
Until the power play. As soon as our power play ended, that was it. It was all Leafs.
Yeah. Price shut it down in overtime. He made a few good saves. And
His glove is he made 4
Yeah.
or 5 crazy glove saves. Just looks so nonchalant, and
Yeah.
he's insane. Playoff Price is a real thing. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, the crowd was awesome. Hindsight 2020. Wish I forked over
Went.
the money and went because those ticket prices were insane.
Yeah.
I think I heard on the broadcast that they only had 3 ticket prices for like the actual season ticket holders, which is I think 120, 240, 360, if
Yeah.
I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Most expensive ticket was under $400, but
Yeah.
the cheapest ticket on a secondary market is $1,400.
Yeah.
But just as a fan, I feel that's a pretty crappy thing, especially if you're a season ticket holder.
It's part of it though, right? There's always going to be a secondary market, and people. At the end of the day, it's a business. Like hockey is an entertainment business where people.
I get it. I
If
just
they
if
can
you're
mark up the
gonna
tickets and make money, they're going to do it.
if you're limiting your tickets to season ticket holders, which they did, only season ticket holders can get tickets. If you're a season ticket holder, why are you selling your tickets? Why did you get season tickets if you aren't a fan of the team?
I agree, but like at the end of the day, if you look in Toronto, season ticket holders, they buy them for external purposes, whether it's giving it to a client,
I hate that.
whether it's
Businesses shouldn't have season tickets. You're a business. You're not a fan. You're a business.
honestly
Get
you're
corporate
right.
seats, but
It's-
you can't get seats. It's
Look,
different.
From a moralistic perspective, you are 110% right. The unfortunate situation is that we live in a world where the real diehard fans can't afford to go to the games.
That's a travesty. That's not a reasonable thing.
It's a travesty, but at the same time, like it is a business. At the end of the day, if MLS
The Leafs aren't making any extra money off of scalpers. The Leafs should be able to limit this. The Habs should be able to. If they make tickets non-transferable,
Yeah.
they still make all of the same amount of money because they are still getting face value for their tickets. They aren't putting their tickets on the secondary market. If they are, that's insane, and that's sometimes
I think
legal
they do.
shenanigans.
I think they do sell in bulk to the scalpers. If I'm not mistaken,
See, that's.
I'm not sure. I could
But
be
even
wrong.
I think I hate the secondary market because if you go on StubHub, they just charge more money based on what someone is going to sell. Like it doesn't matter what, they're just taking a percentage of what you want to sell it for.
Yeah.
So no matter what, that ticket price is just going to go instrumentally higher.
Yeah.
The Leafs aren't making any of that money. The Habs aren't making any of that money. If they just make it, these are non-transferable tickets. You can come with a guest, but you got to show ID. You got to do this is your ticket.
Yeah.
If you sell it, that person's not going to get in because we know who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
I really dislike it. I
Apologize for the swearing, guys. It's okay.
I get riled up.
It's an
I hate
emotional.
it.
It's
I
an
hate
emotional
it. I hate
thing.
it.
Yeah. But I mean, let's jump back to the series. I wanted to show you guys actually another picture, which was pretty insane. And this is not a knock against analysts. Like I watched TSN, we watch Sportsnet, and the analysts for the most part are quite good at what they do. But Jay, did you send me the picture? I just wanted to show
it's at
people.
the bottom of the list.
That's at the bottom of the list. Give me 1 sec, guys. I just want
that
to let me just copy this because this was a pretty big telltale of. Let me just see here. Sorry, guys, having some issues. This was a pretty big telltale of just how wrong the analysts got this. And honestly, with Montreal, you can never count out Montreal. They've come back. I mean, they've been down 3-1 multiple times in the playoffs, and they've come back, especially when they have a good goalie. So I'm a little bit shocked that analysts would have, and obviously with the way the Leafs have, choked in the playoffs. I'm actually surprised that analysts had this so one-sided, despite how good the roster is. But I just want to show you guys this this breakdown, so you can see. If we look through the lines, I can kind of read it for you guys, but Elliot Friedman had the Leafs in 6. Jeff Merrick had them in 5. Jennifer, I think that's Bottolini, had them in 5. if you can just go down the list, most people pegged the Leafs in 6 or 5 games to win the series, which I think would be. I mean, 6 is a fair assessment. I think 5. I mean, I think there's a lot of people that thought the Leafs would win in 5, but I always thought that the series was going to go to 6 or 7 just because of the rivalry and the way these teams have played one another in the season. Having Price back there.
I had more than enough Leaf fans in my Twitter feed with Leafs in 4 as well.
Yeah, like the only person here that had, the only person that had the Leafs in 7 was Eric, and that's not even a guarantee. I mean, they could lose in 7, and then all these analysts here are wrong. So it was just. I mean, nothing to take away from the analysts. I think they do have good takes, and they're experts for a reason. But it's just a bit shocking that they all got it wrong. I mean, no one has the Habs here. Out of these, I mean, there's more analysts than this list, but not one of these on this list have the Habs.
Toronto Sports Network, man.
I guess so. I don't know. I mean, that's pretty crazy, but yeah, guys, Monday night. I don't know how many people are watching the stream, but if you guys have any comments or want to throw in your predictions for Monday night, we'd love to hear them. I really don't even know what to say anymore as a Leaf fan. I think it goes either way. I'm not surprised if the Leafs lose. I'm not surprised if they. I'm more surprised if they win at this point, to be honest, just because they haven't won a series yet. So, but yeah, I don't know, Jay.
Right, let's talk about the actual game itself because
sure.
It was a pretty fun game.
It was an entertaining game for sure.
In terms of the lineup, first time I saw Ducharme make a move that I was like, holy crap, that's a good move. We sat Tatar in terms of Jake Evans. Evans, I think, got injured in the first game. Could have been the second game. But he is a big part of our team. Huge, underrated guy. I think going into the season, he was so young and no one knew who he was that he wasn't really getting taken seriously.
Yeah.
I think he's hopefully, knock on wood, going to be a big part of our future. I feel like he's going to be fitting right in with KK and Suzuki and Caulfield. Should be great. I really want to see Romanov come back in.
Those guys are studs, by the way. Caulfield and Suzuki, absolute studs. Like, I think I saw Suzuki play in London, but yeah, the future's bright in my opinion with those two guys. Just wanted to say that.
I did like it. I would like to see Romanov get in, but if we're only giving up 2 goals against, I don't see us tinkering with the defensive lineup, so I get it.
Yeah.
We'll see if we make it to the next round, if he can play against Winnipeg, but we'll cross that bridge if we get there.
Yeah.
Not a Leaf fan, but I do like Rasmus Sandin, and I guess he didn't have the best game, so I'm not too shocked, but I thought he deserved his place in the lineup. I'm surprised he was scratched today.
He had a tough going game 5. I mean, I know he got the overtime earlier in the series to win one of the games. I think it was game 1 or game 2, I think. He has had some ups and downs in overall in the series, but he is a good player. I think he's going to be a good. I like Sandin. I mean, Muzzin was out.
Muzzin out, which really sucked. So I feel like that's probably his window back in. Dermott, I thought, did all right filling in, but I'm sure he wants that overtime turnover back.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of the lineup, I did like the way the Habs went out. I think Evans is a problem, and he had a pretty good game today to show it. In terms of that, in the first period, I think that was definitely the Habs' best period of the series. I wasn't.
Yeah, they're on fire. They're on fire. Like, I mean, to start the game, like the Habs are all over the Leafs. Like I said, if it wasn't for Campbell, I think that was easily a 2 or 3-0 game. He made a few unbelievable saves to keep the team in the game. Like I said, for the Leafs, it comes down to your big guys. Marner's not getting it done. I know Jay has his different opinions, but in my opinion, I think for most Leaf fans, I can talk on their behalf and say that Matthews and Marner are not good enough or not playing well enough to get the job done. Simple as that. The penalty that Marner took was unfortunate. I mean, I don't really. It's a tough thing, right? And obviously, the goal that was challenged by Keefe. I mean, I was listening on TSN and some of the analysts. I think Jeff O'Neill said that, like he thought it was up there with being, with the Bergevin call earlier in the series. Like he said that he was shocked that Keefe challenge it, but I mean, I was a little bit 50-50 when the challenge happened. I wasn't really, I know Campbell was quite far out of his net, but he was kind of bumped as well to get back in place. But isn't it if you're in the crease, the goal is disallowed? Or is there that rule?
So I think you're allowed to be in the crease as long as there's no contact, and as long as you aren't intentionally, like, if you don't rush into him in the crease, if you get pushed in, then it's fine. But I think if you intentionally go in, you're not allowed to do it. I'm going to back up a little bit. In terms of the Marner penalty, like, you got to feel for the kid because that was a horrible penalty to take. Obviously, I'm no NHLer, but just as a former player, I feel like he had too much time. I feel like he double clutched it. He was supposed to get rid of it and kind of realized, I have a little bit of time.
I think he panicked a little bit, right?
He panicked for sure, and I think if he was on the other side of the ice, I think he got it up so high because he didn't want to throw it into his own bench and hit someone, so we had to lift a little bit higher.
Yeah.
I feel like if it was on the other side of the ice and he could just get it onto the actual stanchion, that he avoids that completely, which, just ice awareness, you got to know what side of the ice you're on, where you can flick that puck, and very unfortunate penalty. I feel bad for him, but Habs power play is awful, and we scored 2 goals on it, so it was fantastic.
I actually want to bring something up because as good as the Habs are playing, and I really do think they have a chance of winning the series now. But that's 2 games in a row now where they blow leads. They're up 3-0 last game.
2-0.
They blew the lead, and then they're up 2-0 here. They blew the lead. So
to me, it's a coaching issue. The way that they set up and play in the first period, they had energy, they had pace, they were going up and down, they were flying, they were finishing their checks, they were being aggressive. I think the crowd helped out with that for sure. I think they came up buzzing because they were there for the crowd.
Yeah. Was it 2,500, or do you think it was more?
I think it was 25 plus.
You think they
plus
squeezed another
family
few
and friends.
hundred?
Yeah, I feel like there was some family in there that wasn't a part of it, but
they showed Price's wife up there and a few other players.
The third period, you couldn't tell there was a crowd. The third period, you would just assume it was another COVID game because there was the Leafs were all over the Habs. There was no energy in the building at all.
Yeah.
Honestly, you messaged me thinking it was over at 2-0, and I was pretty confident we were going to overtime.
Yeah. Just the way they were playing, they weren't playing well. So I thought
the third period they were all over us. The third period was insane.
The third period when they scored the first goal is when they actually 5 minutes prior to the first goal is when I thought they started turning it up a bit.
They were buzzing. It was a skill. All of overtime in the third period, I was not having fun.
But thankfully, you guys have Price, who, like I said, in my opinion, the best two. I mean, Price and Campbell were both tremendous in this game.
Yeah, they were the first and second.
I mean, the goal in overtime, I really don't. I mean, with the Leafs, Dermott, I think it was Dermott.
Yeah, Dermott.
He turned it over, kind of like a semi-turnover, and then who scored the goal?
KK.
Yeah, so KK, so Kotkaniemi took the shot. I think it went off of Bogosian.
Yeah.
It kind of deflected. So, I mean, at first hand, when you watch the goal, it looks like, it's one that Campbell should have. But when you see the replay, you saw it was deflected. And
I think it was the same thing as...
can't fault him, really.
It was the same goal as the Statistical.
Yeah.
First look, I was like, holy crap, that was a weak goal. And then it was like, okay, it went off a knee.
Yeah.
I don't think you can really blame deflection goals on goalies. Those are hard to stop, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know you're a Habs fan, but I mean, for myself, I'm talking on behalf of Toronto fans, don't want to be pessimistic, but I mean, if the Leafs do blow it and lose in 7, what's the future of this team, right? I mean, you have Marner, Matthews, Nylander signed up. If we look at Cap Geek, I mean, I can pull it up, but this core is here. Marner, Matthews, Nylander, and Tavares are here. We got a bunch of UFAs. What do you do with the team if that is the case? Maybe I'm thinking too far ahead, but I'm sure it's seeping into the minds of a lot of Leaf fans here that this team hasn't been able to get over the hump, and they've gone through a lot of struggle in the first round. They haven't been able to exercise their demons. I mean, 2004 is the last time this team has won a playoff round. I just find it to be insane. I don't know if it's just me or if Leaf fans collectively know how insane it is that the team hasn't won a playoff round in 17 years, let alone a Stanley Cup. So it just boggles my mind that are we okay with this mediocrity, or is it something where we are fully aware of this team just not getting the job done on a yearly basis? I really don't know, but like, what is the future of this team if they do blow it and lose in 7?
I don't think you guys have to be too rash. Like your core is still probably, I'd say, easy in the top 3 cores in the NHL. Can you name?
Can they win though? That's the thing. Like, can they win the big games?
Timing, man. They can win.
Yeah, they're young.
They've won a lot of games. So you can't win every year. You can't. It's not. They're not a dynasty. They can't win every year. You got to pick your battle.
They can't win every year, but they can win a playoff round once in a while.
They should. But okay,
we're not like Leaf fans don't ask for much. I mean, if we win a playoff round, I'm sure that Toronto will look like it's like we won the Stanley Cup.
Tampa got swept by the Habs, and the next year I think they won the cup.
Yeah, but Tampa also won the cup in 2004. So
I think still.
I mean, they've won championships. They've gone far in rounds with Stamkos. They've gone a few years to the conference finals. Like, we're talking about a team that hasn't won a playoff round since 2004.
See, but this team,
the largest fan base.
What does this team have to do with the
Toronto.
2004 team? There's not a single.
No, I'm just saying that
teams.
the team over the last decade. Okay, look, if you look at Montreal over the last decade,
we've done nothing. We've won a series. Does anyone give a?
But
if we make the Stanley Cup final 8 years in a row and lose 8 years in a row, is anybody happy?
Well, it's still no, but you're right. But it's still the fact that there's some type of progress made. Like, you guys have gone to the conference finals a few years. You guys have given the city something to be excited about. Like, I think Leaf fans, they just want something to be excited about. Like, they haven't had a feeling of even winning a. Like, I think it's hard for you to identify because you're not in our shoes as Leaf fans, but. Like, just picture picture you being a Habs fan and not seeing your team win a playoff round for 17 years. You can't picture it because you haven't gone through it. But I think if you were to be in our shoes, it's tough. It's tough as a Leaf fan year over year to consistently cheer for a team and not be able to get over that edge and at least get some excitement in the city. That's all I'm saying. Like, you have to understand that perspective.
You guys aren't excited to be in the playoffs right now?
I think we're not excited until we start having success in the playoffs.
Just making the playoffs. That's not exciting.
It's not good enough.
That's not good enough.
It's not good enough.
Yo,
if you think making the playoffs is good enough, then your expectations, I think, are, as a Leaf fan, I think, are too low. I think you have to have success in the playoffs. You have to win a round. You have to win 2 rounds. You play the game to win. You don't play the game to make the playoffs and then go golfing 3 weeks later. That's my
absolutely agree. You play to win the game. Obviously, at the beginning of the year, the goal is always a Stanley Cup, but there's 30 teams with that same goal. You have to, especially in a.
So Vegas in their inaugural year, you went to the Stanley Cup final. How do you justify that? Like, how do you justify that versus?
Because the lottery system is.
I disagree. I disagree.
The expansion draft, I feel
no one thought Vegas was going to go to the Stanley Cup final that year.
I agree.
No one thought.
But I guarantee.
So why can't the Leafs have a year where they don't even have? They don't even have.
Seattle makes the playoffs their first year.
Well, what I'm saying is that the Leafs are not even an underdog team. They're a highly pegged team to go far, and they can't even get past the first round. I'm giving Vegas as an example. Okay, why can't a team just surprise and show some?
Because the expectation, you guys expect them to win. Game 1 of the regular season, they win. That's it. Leaf fans are, oh my god, plan the parade. We're gonna make the Raptor parade look like crap. You guys, game 1, Austin Matthews scores 1 goal, boom, that's it. Rocket, give him a statue, give him the entire ACC, it's his now. The expectation for Leaf fans is insane.
No, I mean, like, I completely disagree with you. Like, I completely disagree. We haven't had any success in the playoffs to begin with. We're not asking for much. Like, we're asking for the team to get over a hump and win a round, win 2 rounds. I think if anything, Leaf fans have the least expectations out of the whole league. Like, they always say there's pressure.
Have you seen their betting odds?
I think
it's Colorado and then them, bro. What do you mean they are expected to win the cup?
They always say there's pressure in Toronto and there's expectation to win. At this point, like, I really think there isn't, because if we win 1 playoff round, like, the city will be ecstatic. Let alone winning 2 or 3 or winning the cup. Like, of course we want to win the cup, but at this point we'll take a playoff round win. Like, we're fine. Like, we just want to see some type of.
So if they win this round and lose in 4 next round, you're happy? Well, they won a round?
We're happier. I think we would be happier that at least we got over the hump, which is winning 1 round. I mean, if we're stuck
it's cup or bust. You know that. It's cup or bust.
It is. But I'm saying that we have to see some type of progress with this team. Like, with this core.
They only went to 5 last year. They're at 7. There's progress.
Yeah, but it was a shortened.
It's shortened season this season.
No, but the series was shortened.
I know, but they only went 5 games. Now
No, they
they're
went
seven
5 games because it was a 7-game series.
But if it was 7, they
best
could
of
have won.
5.
I know, but they have made progress. They are now 2 games deeper into the playoffs. They have made progress.
No, I get that, but like the point doesn't make sense because it wasn't.
Even though it's still the first round, they're making progress. Because if last year's series went
but
to
they
7,
lost
they
to
could have
Boston in
won.
7. They lost to Boston 3 years in a row.
So it was a little bit of regression. Then they only went to 5. Like they're getting as far as they can. They are. It's.
I don't know. I think that
When they lost to Boston, who won the cup that year?
Boston went to the final
right?
one year, but they're not like. I think you're being way too easy on the Leafs. I think it's because you're not a Leaf fan. Maybe I'm a bit emotional because
I think I'm on one side and I'm on far right. You're on far left. We're both
but you're never going to
extreme.
be on far left because you don't understand. You don't understand being a Leaf fan. Like it's like you would be talking a completely
Is it because
different.
there's too much pressure on the team that I
No,
don't understand?
I think
I feel like it's because there's too much pressure, and that's why you think I don't understand.
I think I think the issue is that you're not. Like if you're cheering for the
I live in
Habs-
the GTA, bro.
No, but
I
if-
see it.
but
I'm
if-
in it.
But no, you're a Habs fan, and you were a Leafs fan, but you converted to a Habs fan a
So
long
shouldn't I
time
know
back.
a little bit? Don't I
No,
know a
but
little
what-
bit? Isn't that helping me make
Bro,
my point?
Bro, what I'm saying is that if the Habs hadn't won a playoff series in 17 years, at one point you'd be like I'm sick of this. You haven't
sick of this
You
right
haven't
now.
done
Yeah,
with
we
it.
make the playoffs, and I'm still sick of it. I want to win a cup too.
You're spoiled in the sense that your teams have consistently, to an extent, have been competitive throughout the years.
Bro, we
You've
haven't had a
few
Rocket
years.
Richard winner in how long? When's our last Rocket?
It doesn't,
You think-
bro. You don't. It doesn't matter. You guys have had success in the playoffs. Like over the last 10 years, you guys have still gone 2 rounds. You had that one year where Halak, you guys upset teams. You had one year where you went to the conference finals
So
and
we're
lost to New York.
overperforming.
But that's just like you don't understand what it is being a Leaf fan because your team has
Because
still
we have shitty teams and we overperform.
Yeah,
we
you've
don't have-
overachieved, but you haven't had years where, bro, you'd be talking a different lingo if your team hadn't won a playoff series in 17 years. You would not be talking like this. You haven't gone through.
I haven't seen a cup in my lifetime, so
That's-
I feel the same thing.
Okay, you're 100% right. Like,
At the end of
90
the day,
yeah.
we need a cup, right? It doesn't
100%.
matter how many series I win. Again, if I go to the Stanley Cup final 8 times in a row, I'm not happy.
but you still have years. You still have years where you're like, you know what? It was like the Halak year where they lost in the conference finals. Who did they lose to in the conference finals?
See, you don't know because I didn't win a cup.
No, they beat Pittsburgh, they beat Washington, and I think they
It was
lost
Philly.
to Philly.
Yeah, it was Philly.
Philly, but you still had a good it was still a year where fans can say they can look back and be like, you know what, that was a good year. I remember when Halak had a run, we upset a few teams. They have some positivity they can take from the last decade. With the Leafs, you don't have anything. You don't have a playoff win. You don't have any type of building block to build on. I'm not saying they're not going to do it this year. I hope they pull it out and win.
When's the
but-
last time a Leaf won a Rocket Richard? Who's the last Leaf to win a Rocket Richard? You saying that's not progress? You're saying you don't have a core that's
That's
talented
individual
and ready to go?
progress, though. It comes
Okay,
down
yeah.
to a team play.
Yeah,
I don't care.
you-
I don't care if we come first.
So Matthews is on the ice by himself. He scored all those goals by himself, all unassisted. He did it
No,
1
I'm
on
not.
5.
I'm not saying.
Team didn't help.
No. I'm not saying it's all in
Campbell
Matt.
set a record in
He
the
has to
league
take-
for dubs.
Man,
Your team
Matt-
has nothing to look up to. It's not like you.
No, it's not saying that. I'm saying that the team has failed to
your
perform in the
playoffs-
big moments.
Yeah,
that's where it matters.
Overall, the Leafs have failed in recent memory, 100%. I can't deny that. But again, I think that the amount of pressure that is put on that team in the is
there's no pressure. They haven't won a playoff series since 2004.
Yeah,
at
there's
this
pressure.
point,
How
at
many-
this point, we'll take a playoff win and call it our Stanley Cup. Like at this point, we just want to see some progress.
Can a Leaf walk the streets of Toronto without getting noticed? Can any single person who was on that 20-man squad?
Well, they had no fans in the building this
okay,
year.
no, but if
so-
they on
I
a
mean-
regular year, if they try to go for a walk downtown Toronto, will they get stopped and noticed?
If anything, I think that should fuel them. That should fuel
Okay,
them
but
that
that's
they
not
have a
pressure.
huge
That's
fan
not
base.
pressure that they know that everyone.
I don't think it's. I think it's positive pressure.
Okay, but pressure is pressure. Pressure is pressure.
No, but
there's pressure on them.
but
they have the
it's
they have
positive
TSN
pressure-
and Sportsnet talking them up 24 hours a
I
day.
don't think they listen
7
to all
days
of it,
a
though.
week.
I think they listen to
Yo,
a bit of it. But
In
I don't-
today's day and age, it's impossible to get away. All these guys have Twitter. All these guys have Instagram. All these guys have social media. all these guys are looking at
that's
stuff.
that's their fault though. They know that they're in.
That's humanity's fault. We are
No,
obsessed with that.
Social media is a joke though. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're famous and you have social media, you have to know what comes with it. Like at the end of the
Yeah,
day,
but these
turn off your
athletes,
Instagram,
yeah.
turn off your social media, focus on what you have to do.
I'm sure they do, but there's pressure on Leaf fans. There's pressure on Leaf players from day one. As soon as you sign
It's
a
not
contract,
good
there's
enough,
pressure.
man. At the end of the day, it's not good enough. Monday night, either they get it done, and if they don't get it done Monday night, there's got to be some type of change within the organization. I don't know where it comes from because I'm not in that position to say it. I'm just a fan, but there's got to be some type of change within the organization if the Leafs end up losing Game 7. Because as we've seen over the last 3 to 4 years, this core cannot get it done in the big moments. They just can't. And they had 2 chances. They had Game 5 to get it done. Didn't get it done. They had Game 6 tonight to get it done. Didn't get it done. So it really comes down to just getting it done. And if they don't get it done, then there has to be some type of change, in my opinion.
So if they win 8-0 and Matthews has 3 goals, Marner has 3 goals.
In Game 7?
In Game 7. And then
they got it done.
Okay, and then they blow it, the 4-game sweep in Winnipeg. You're happy? Good overall ending to the season? You're good with it?
Me personally, I would be happy that they got over the hump and they got past the first round. It's something they can build on. Of course, you don't want to see the team get swept, but it's better exercising the demons and getting past the first round. That's what I'm going to say. We're at 35 minutes. I just realized 36 minutes of going back and forth on this. Sorry, whoever's watching, but it's an emotional night. I mean, JC's team won, so he's happy. I think deep down.
Yeah, good day for
I'm
me.
frustrated as a Leaf fan, as are I'm sure lots of Leaf fans. I'm sure Steve Dangle's losing his mind as well. But it is what it is, guys. Like, I mean, we just wanted to talk about a few topics here. I mean, we're just looking at the list. What else did we want to go over?
What do you think's going to happen in Game 7?
I don't really know. I don't have a prediction anymore. I hope the Leafs win, but would not be surprised if they lose. But I think if the Leafs win, I think it's like a 3 or 4-1 win, and if they lose, I think it's like the same, like 2-1 with an empty netter from Montreal, 3-1. I really don't know. I can't say a prediction at this point.
I feel like it's decided within 5 minutes. The first 5 minutes of the next game is going to be.
I agree with that.
It's
Yeah, I
there's
agree
going to be
with
a
that.
quick goal, I feel, and that's it.
Yeah, Campbell put up a good enough performance for the team to win tonight. Like, I think that in the first period and a half, Campbell set the tone for the team that, you know what, like, we're gonna walk out of here with a win. The team didn't get it done. Simple as that. And we'll see what happens on Monday. Jay sent me a funny video on the goal in Punjabi where they were. I don't know if you want to send it to me. Do you have it still?
I think so, yeah.
Can try to play it. Yeah, it's just frustrating being a Leaf
It's
fan.
at the bottom of the list again.
No, it's at the bottom of the list. Okay, let me see.
If it edits or updates.
Oh,
No, it didn't.
didn't update. Okay. Whatever. Yeah, guys. I mean, I don't have much else to say. It's frustrating, but I mean, it's not done yet for Leaf fans. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough. There's not much else to say on my end. If you want to say anything else, Jay, before we close it up, you can. But
I thought it was a good game overall. Terrified for the third in overtime. Again, if the Habs don't score 3 goals, we don't seem to win. So,
yeah,
again, overtime has been sick for us. I'm very surprised that we're 2-0 in overtime. I think we were 0-3 in overtime against you guys in the regular season. It could have been 0-2.
yeah.
Actually, no, we won 1 with Caulfield, so I think we went 1-2. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be a crazy. Teams haven't played each other in 40 years. I'm very glad this went to 7 just as a hockey fan. Just that Game 7s are the best games in the first round.
Yeah.
This is the last game of the first round, and the first round is my favorite time of the year because I like seeing 4 hockey games in a day. So I'm kind of sad that it's over.
Oh, I got a call. Actually, my buddy. Sorry, guys. Before we hang this up, let me give him a call. I'm gonna put him on speaker here. He's arguably the biggest Leaf fan in the world. I hope he picks up. He's just trying to join the stream. Hello, Shaz.
Yep.
You're live. You're live right now. Yeah, I'm gonna put you on speaker. I know I was trying to get him to join the stream, but we don't have like the Zoom and stuff. But I think they can probably hear you through the mic, Shaz. I just want to get your opinion on the game. You're probably the biggest Leaf fan I know, and yeah, Yeah, man, you're live, so let's hear your opinion.
All right, so it comes down to
Try not to swear as well. Sorry, man, but
of
try to
course,
keep
this
PG.
a PG entertainment, bro.
Yeah, PG. It's PG. It's a PG stream.
Sent you the link as well.
Honestly, this was sorry, this was a game, but this wasn't our first of like one. We had the last game too. To be honest, like we should have won this game. Like there's no excuse at all. Like as a defense, as a huge defense, we should have won this game.
You're the biggest Leaf fan I know, hands down.
There was zero excuses at all to not win this game. We had every chance to win this game. We had every reason to win this game. We had, power plays. We had chances, whatever. It was a tight game, no doubt. It was a tight game, for sure. No doubt. But this was our game. The fact that we were down 2-0, we came back, tied the game,
Yeah.
blah, blah, all this shit. Fine, cool. But we shouldn't have been down 2-0 at all,
Yeah.
you know?
What do you think, Shaz? What do you think with the core of the team? Like if they
To be
do
honest
lose,
with you, like, before you even go even more further, at this point, there is no core of the team right now. There isn't.
so what do you do if they lose? If they lose, if they lose Game 7 on Monday, what do you like? What like?
Matthews, the Marner, all these guys, like we don't have big boys right now. You know, like we can go as far as we can with the guys we have, but
Yeah.
it comes down to like the past few years, our big boys will not put up the numbers at all. Right? I think Matthews had a couple goals last year.
In the playoffs, you mean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think Marner scored in 16. Is it 16 playoff games now? Something like that. It's some insane stat where he hasn't scored in like.
Some of that, yeah. But I know like the year before that, like him and Mitch Marner had like no point or like a few points,
Yeah.
you know. But
I think Hyman had a good game today, though. Hyman was in there. I think he.
Hyman, I honestly love him.
Yeah.
A great player.
Yeah.
But they're and I love him. I have no beef against him.
You shouldn't have beef against anyone, Shaz.
No, I do. I actually do have against a few players. I do, but guys like the Hyman, I don't.
Yeah.
You know, like it comes out like he's done nothing wrong.
Yeah, he plays the game hard. He's a good player. Plays the game hard. He's a very likable personality.
He's solid. He goes
Yeah.
he goes to the ice. He goes hard. He plays hard.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like you can't ask for much more from him, right?
Yeah. No, 100%. 100%. Shaz, we're gonna close out the stream, man.
Alright.
But it was good hearing from you, and hopefully we can do a Zoom in the future, man, where we can get you on the call properly. But don't stress too much, man. Like we'll see what happens on Monday night, and we'll go from there.
We'll try our best, bro.
Yeah. All right, man. I'll talk after.
All right, man.
Okay. All right, guys. So I think we'll close it out. Jay, if you want to add anything.
Let's get ready for Game 7, guys. Best game of the series.
Don't even know what to say anymore, guys. Like, I really don't. But, yeah, let's see what happens. It's going to be exciting. Monday night. Would have been nice to go downtown Toronto and party on a Saturday night, sleep in tomorrow. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But until then, guys, stay safe. And we'll chat soon.